An aural expression of life and love to help you rise above. It's Rhyme and Reason 746.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason why you're here.
Hey there, Tony here, and look at this. 2 in a row. We're on a streak. Let's keep that streak going. And you might be hearing the first part of that saying aural expression. What did he say? Yeah, it's aural, not oral like in voice, but aural, A-U-R-A-L, which is the secondary part of your voice. It's your hearing. You got to be able to hear to, express yourself in your voice. It helps. Let's put it that way. And music is an aural expression of life. I've talked about that before. It's from babies in the womb all the way to the silver-haired citizens among us. That wouldn't be, of course, me, but notwithstanding, music is I'm talking about amazingly, they never use that word in any Hallmark movies, amazing, but music is an amazingly comforting language. I've shared a lot of information on TonyFunderburk.com about the health benefits of music and sound, but it doesn't benefit only the listener. Yeah, I know this from a lifetime of aural expression, you could say. Matter of fact, I just did. But whatever musical gifts and talents I have, I just know that they're gifts from God, directly from God. And I've been blessed to be able to share my own aural expressions, some people call them songs, with hundreds of thousands of people over the year. Over the years, I should say, not the year. It sounds crazy to even say that number out loud, but it's true. I've shared songs and sung for hundreds of thousands of people. Now, I'm not like some superstar who's sung for millions, and hundreds of thousands could be, 200,000, and they sang for that in, 2 concerts. I don't have those kind of creds. But I have sung for lots and lots of people. And it occurred to me that a singer-songwriter is kind of like a heart surgeon. Over 50 years ago, for those of you old enough to remember, you might remember the Bee Gees. They sang, "How Can You Mend a Broken Heart?" And ironically, they answered their own question with a song, in the song. I don't know if they wrote that song after some sort of personal breakup of one of the guys. They're brothers, by the way, if you don't know who they are. But I'd say it's pretty likely because that's how some of the best music is created. And the words in that song certainly sounded like somebody had experienced it. So, just think about that for a second. Something you can't even see or touch can mend, and I'll put air quotes around that, can mend hearts. It's not sewing it up like a heart surgeon. And people of all ages can experience heartbreak, that's for sure. It's not just for teenage girls, regardless of their ability to shed more tears than anyone else on the planet, of course. But let's get back to what I mentioned earlier. Aural expressions benefit more than listeners. So composers and songwriters experience amazing blessings during the process of creation. Now, I love this quote from someone who's considered the father of the symphony and string quartet, Mr. Joseph Haydn. Looks like H-A-Y-D and looks like Haydn. It's Joseph Haydn. Anyway, he said, "Never was I so devout as when I composed The Creation." And that was a symphony of his called The Creation. "I knelt down each day to pray to God to give me strength for my work. When I was working on The Creation, I felt so impregnated with divine certainty that before sitting down to the piano, I would quietly and confidently pray to God to grant me the talent that was needed to praise Him worthily." Now that is an amazing prayer from a composer. And as I wrote this out, I was actually listening to some of Joseph Haydn's music, and that's a link you'll see in the show notes. I suggest clicking it, but don't click it if you think classical music is boring, because it's classical music. So you'll get on there and go, "Oh, brother." But if you understand how amazing classical music can be on your soul and your spirit, it's a link worth clicking, because you might end up feeling pretty relaxed. You might have to come back and finish listening to this podcast because I'll put you to sleep with that. And not me, but Mr. Haydn will. Anyway, if music doesn't prove to you that there's a God who loves you, then it's my firm belief that your future could be in very, very dark jeopardy. And I hope I don't have to clarify this for you, but I mean real music. Like I was saying, not that barely approximate rhyme gibberish attitude talk junk trying to pass itself off as a musical art form, not that growl, grunt, and groan rock trying to pass itself off as a musical art form, and not that bump and grind hypersexualized pop trash trying to pass itself off as a musical art form. No, none of those. Real music, with a capital real, is written and performed by real musicians who understand and convey aural expressions on real instruments. Rhapsodies and symphonies might not float your boat, but it's incredible what classical music can do for your brain and your heart. So don't let your heart be hardened by the lies of this world. If you even begin to feel any of that happening, I suggest you listen to Haydn or Beethoven or Bach. They all credited their creator for the gift of music, and I do too. Matter of fact, I'm going to share this clip of another one of those new songs I mentioned in my last podcast episode, and I'll be right back.
I'm gonna get to the passion. I'm gonna make my dreams all come true. I'm gonna go for the limit. I'm gonna burst the limit and go on through. I'm gonna sing through this life. I'm gonna play it loud like a brand new song. I'm gonna fly on the tune. I'm gonna ask all my friends to come on along. I'm gonna leave my cares and troubles far behind.
Okay, as you might have guessed, that's a song called I'm Gonna. And something interesting about that is every line of lyrics in that song starts with those two words, I'm gonna. There's a little extra thought behind that. It's something I'll share at another time, not for right now. But if you've ever listened to or if you've ever bought into my music, I really want you to know that I am truly grateful and honored, because I know you have lots and lots of choices out there. But I hope it helped you to understand why you're here, or it helped you mend a broken heart, or maybe just relax. I hope some of that was positive for you. Some positive thing happened. And I want you to know how much it helped my heart to write it for you. That's it for now. Thank you for tuning in to Rhyme and Reason. Remember, there is rhyme and reason in this life because God made you.
There's a rhyme and